Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. We're also available on the iTunes, on Stitcher Radio, on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Steve and Larson, on Podbean, on Google Play, on, what else? Something else, right? iHeartRadio, apparently, although I haven't been able to find us last time I checked.
Did you say iTunes?
I did, of course I said the iTunes. And we want to say thank you. Look, everybody, either if you're watching on the YouTube, it benefits us so much if you go over to the iTunes or to any of those podcast audio only things and hit the subscribe button or the download button.
Did you say SoundCloud?
I did say SoundCloud. I said soundcloud.com/Steve and Larson. And you hit the download or subscribe button because I'm a junkie for our ratings now. I'm a junkie for polls now.
You're obsessed.
I'm like Donald Trump. In that, I'm obsessed with my polls, although his aren't terrible right now. His are awful.
They're really
which
bad.
Which is a good thing.
It is a very good thing.
Anyways, no, I'm obsessed with on iTunes, the podcast, because we haven't dropped out of the top 150 in like a week.
Well, that's good.
So it's really, really good. I think the lowest we got this week was like 95 or 98. And then, but like the highest we got was like 52. And I was like, holy shit, look at that. We're up there. We're big time now, Larson. We're big time. Anyways, SmackDown happened last night. How you doing? How are you doing?
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. I know, exactly. We got like a million different... Oh, by the way, we're also on Patreon. At patreon.com/Steve and Larson. You see this shirt I'm wearing? This is because I donate $50 a month to the cause, which is a ridiculous amount of money. But believe it or not, we have a couple people doing that. And they're getting this shirt. How do you think I got this shirt? It's because I put in $50 a month to this podcast every month.
It's because there's a whole box of them over there.
Exactly, but I was able to give myself one of them.
I don't pay $50 a month, and I got one.
I know. You need to start putting in on the podcast.
That's just like us trading $50 bills every month, though.
You're saying you don't put in $50 of sweat equity in this podcast every month?
Oh, I'll put in a lot more than that.
Okay, there we go then. If we got somebody in here to put in more than $50 a month in sweat equity for us, we'd give them a shirt too. It's pretty much all we can afford to pay them, though. Anyways, SmackDown, Larson. It was do we have a stinger for SmackDown? I forget.
We do not.
We don't? Really? Smack!
Is that what I was supposed to do?
I guess. I don't know.
No, we don't have one.
Okay, we got to figure that out. We need a SmackDown.
We need a logo that involves a fist.
A stinger. Yeah, that's what we need. A
fist.
A fist? We need like a visual cue?
Yeah.
With like a punch sound?
Yeah, there you go. Foley it.
There you go. SmackDown. Okay, so as everybody who listens or watches this podcast knows, last week we were pretty harsh. Usually we're pretty positive fellas. But last week we had quite the word for SmackDown. After we were very effusive about Raw, though.
80% of my problems were presentation. I mean, the booking wasn't great, but I think the presentation...
No, listen, the booking...
If they cleaned up the presentation, it'd been a little bit better.
I agree with you. However, the booking was so bad, we rebooked SmackDown to a superior show.
We could rebook pretty much any Raw or SmackDown any given week and make it a better show.
Not last week's Raw was great. And this week's Raw was very entertaining.
We could have booked this week's Raw
When something is so bad that we endeavor to rebook it, that means it's pretty bad. Last week was pretty bad.
I think it was just the first time since it was new.
What was the title of our show last week on SmackDown?
You called it Crash and Burn.
Yeah, what a pile of crap is what I should have called it. This week I felt they did a lot better.
Yeah.
You have presentation issues. I have booking issues. We'll just say that. And
that's not to say I don't have booking issues, but primarily, first and foremost, is a presentation.
All right. Well, that's foremost on your mind. Booking's foremost on my mind. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what was positive. What change do you think was positive in their presentation this week?
They didn't use the crane quite as much.
The crane wasn't their A camera, was it?
It still was. They just didn't use it as much.
Okay. All right.
They interspersed all the other cameras.
Right.
Far more equitably. So the crane was there and they used it, but it wasn't as obnoxious as it was last week.
Right.
What else was positive? I liked some of the backstage segments, particularly the first one, the one that opened the show. because it felt like a cold open to Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Where
that's what you're looking for. You're looking for more sketch comedy in SmackDown.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of did that with the Heath Slater and Rhino.
They did. You're right.
That was very comedic.
You're right. I wonder if we're onto something here.
But yeah, the opening segment when Shane and Daniel Bryan were talking to Randy Orton, and Orton was wondering why there was so much security in the building, and they're explaining because they don't want Lesnar to reciprocate Orton's attack on their show.
They were like, why are there so many local enhancement talents here?
Pretty much.
All dressed up like they're security.
And so Orton leaves, Miz comes in, talks about something. I usually ignore what he says.
Maurice was wearing quite the fetching dress.
It was very low cut.
It was very low cut. That's what I mean with fetching. You went crass with that. You said low cut. That's
crass.
That's crass.
I don't think that's crass.
That's crass. Titty spilling everywhere.
See, that's crass.
Oh, is that crass? Okay.
That's crass.
Did I cross the line? Did I cross the line, Larson?
You did cross the line. Miz comes in. They tell him there's going to be a number one contender match for his Intercontinental title. So we'll know who he faces at SummerSlam.
I like when Daniel Bryan gave him a burn. He said, I didn't draft you, Miz. I drafted the Intercontinental Championship.
That was great. Miz leaves.
Such an asshole about it, too.
Miz leaves. Ambrose comes in. They're all like walking down, so I guess comes into frame, I should say.
Right.
And he is getting hyped about the show. He says, let's kick it off.
Yeah.
And then we go out to the ring. Ambrose comes out.
Wow.
I like that. It gives a sense of movement, of momentum.
They all like look into the camera and say, live from New York, it's Smackdown.
Yeah.
Live. Anyways.
Smackdown live TV.
No, I like that too. I wonder if that's going to be sort of a staple of the thing, because last week, of course, they started out with BRAY and Shane
from backstage going
out. I'm still not big on the tandem of Shane and Daniel
Bryan. They were
Bryan.
much better this week.
Yeah.
It's because apart from that segment, maybe one or two other ones, they weren't together a lot. It was one or the other.
I get the vibe that they're trying to bring, and they are successful in bringing a certain vibe of look, I'll just expand on my metaphor or analogy or whatever you want to call it last week, that they come off like a couple of startup CEOs. I think somebody on my Twitter said, yeah, they seem like they're a couple of guys who want to expand their craft beer business into more territories.
That could be.
And they come off that way, but not in like a good way. But I'm still like, this week I felt more like it was in a better way.
Yeah, and
I'm feeling them a little bit more.
I think Daniel Bryan specifically is getting more comfortable.
They're like CEOs that I don't find annoying. Like if you're working in a smaller place and the CEO comes in, and usually you're like, oh, you're annoying. But like, they come in, it's like, oh, these guys have a good heart. They want to give me benefits. They just can't afford to right now. Right?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of CEOs we're going to be when going in Raw as a huge conglomerate?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'd like to think we're going to get more than minimum wage.
Yeah, I'd like to.
I'd like to also, but the bottom line
I would like to be quality bosses. I like to offer full benefits, full vacation.
Yeah. You're going to be a pill as a boss. They're going to be coming to me. You're going to be like the grumpy dad. I'm going to be the nice mom.
Okay.
And be like, hey, can we take the next week off? I'm like, well, it's a really busy week. What would Larson say? Just go take it off. It's okay. Don't tell anybody else. Well, you'd be like, well, if I got to give it to you off, I got to give it to everybody, don't I?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd just be like, oh, this is an administrative nightmare. Who's going to do this now? We got to decide who does this and that and that.
Oh, God. Anyways, we're off track. So, Dean Ambrose opened the show, sauntering to the ring. He cut, you know what? He's killing it in these promos.
Yeah,
he's doing
well.
a really, really good job with these promos. Although I honestly feel like everybody asked, like after Battleground, and he won the title, or he held on to the title to bring it to SmackDown. Seemed like a big victory. SmackDown, they're going to have the thing. Maybe it's just my own personal preference for Raw, but or maybe it's just in conjunction with how I feel about SmackDown. That belt doesn't feel as important anymore.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
The Universal title feels very important.
Yeah.
That feels like it's going to be the bigger title. Well, a lot of people, you say that as if it's a foregone conclusion, but a lot of people had that question.
I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion. I'm agreeing with you with that sentiment.
Yeah.
That it does feel less important, I think, because it's SmackDown move nights, it's live, it still feels like the B show.
Yeah. When you have, and I think, and a lot of people are up on the, and it's funny because I'm going to kind of contradict myself. I do that all the time, but I'm actually happy with Dolph Ziggler being the number one contender. I think Bray Wyatt going into SummerSlam would have been a more 50-50. This could fucking happen.
Yeah.
It's still, and I'll ask you this in a bit. It still makes me wonder: is this going to be a triple threat Maybe, probably not.
I think next week we're going to see the Wyatt family against Ambrose and Dolph.
I think we are too.
As the main event of SmackDown.
But then, fuck it, I'll ask it now. Where does that leave Bray Wyatt?
I don't know.
I liked how they used him last night in terms of getting Dolph over, because I feel like Dolph is going to win out all the way through SummerSlam. Let me
ask you this. I know you said that he'll win out.
Well, not in a tag match with Dean Ambrose.
Singles matches, he'll win out until SummerSlam, and where he'll lose. Mm-hmm. Can you fathom the possibility that potentially he won last night, so he proved himself?
Yeah. And
then from here, and granted, there's only like 2 weeks left till
it's not a lot. Yeah,
or still SummerSlam, not a lot of time. But it's a bumpier road for him. Mm-hmm. So if he were to win at SummerSlam, that would be the final moment where he's like, okay, I have overcome all obstacles. I have proven to myself and the world that I am the best. That his crowning moment is not during SmackDown last night in match against Bray Wyatt, is capturing the belt in potentially the main event at SummerSlam. Can you see that happening?
No. Because I think you're right. I think he's not going to win that belt at SummerSlam.
No, he's not going to win.
I do stand by this. And you sort of during the recap today, I noticed that you kind of shook your head in minor disagreement, I think, because it's sort of a wide open thing. But I think if they book him correctly between now and SummerSlam, I think there is the distinct possibility, given how weak SmackDown is, and given how I don't think they want to really do anything with Cena AJ in terms of the title for now. That might change for AJ.
Yeah.
I could see Dolph, if they book him strong enough, maybe getting the title sometime after SummerSlam, because who else are they going to do that?
If you mean sometime after SummerSlam 2018, maybe?
Oh, I don't know. I think by 2018, the rosters are going to be radically different.
Well, yeah.
I think it's either in the next 6 months or it's never, in which case it might be never.
I think in terms of maybe what the fans may want, I think AJ and Bray probably can stake a larger claim to...
Can we get a tag team called Bray J?
That's good. That's a good name.
You like that? Yeah. So anyways, I don't know. So Dean came out and he drops his promo. He says, "Let's meet our number one contender." Dolph Ziggler comes out and he delivers one of the most heated. You noted this, that he had given some very fiery, intense promos on WWE.com and backstage stuff. But we've never really seen that on TV, because he delivered an amazing one. And it really does feel like they said, go out there and just kill it. And he did that. He even referenced the fact that he came in
as a male cheerleader,
as a member of the Spirit Squad, and that went over really well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But everybody knew, and he was really fired up, and he showed a lot of intensity. He showed a lot of charisma on the mic, and he didn't stumble. It was really done. It was really well done.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And what did Dean say?
No, you're not.
He said, no, you're not going to do any of that stuff.
You're not good enough to do any of that.
Really cool dynamic. People are blowing up my Twitter at Real Going In Raw.
Well, that's not your Twitter. That's our Twitter.
While I was on Twitter live tweeting SmackDown, people were blowing it up saying, is this a Dolph heel turn, or is this a Dean heel turn rather? No, none of it. It doesn't have. This is what I like about this, is that Dean is just a guy holding onto his belt, and Dolph is the latest challenger to that belt.
They're both just guys.
They are. So anyways, they lay their spiels out to each other. Dean hightails it out of there. Lights go down, and Bray Wyatt appears, having Dolph set up for his sister Abigail, which he delivers with mighty force.
And says to him, "You don't deserve to be in this match.
You don't deserve to be champion, Dolph Ziggler." I don't know.
Not bad. But anyways, he said,
off my impressions today.
Bray said, "We're going to have a match tonight. Mm-hmm. Bray versus Dolph.
Winner
challenges Dean."
Exactly. So he expects Dolph to put up his number one contendership, and like an asshole, he accepts. He pulls Mr. Kennedy and offers up his Money in the Bank.
Pretty much everyone else says, "Don't do it. There's no reason for you to do it. There's nothing to gain by doing it."
And he says, "Look, I'm trying to get over. They have assured me that I'm going over tonight to prove that I am strong." To try to build me up for SummerSlam.
He broke kayfabe and
he totally shoots on it. No, he didn't do that. He just said, "Look, this is a respect thing," because during the show, a bunch of people come up to him, including Shane and D-Bry, and they say, "Look, bro, this is a bad idea. Why are you doing this? There's no upside to this." And he's like, "Because I respect." He says, "Lungs, because I got lungs."
He says, "I have to do it to prove myself."
To prove myself.
He's there to show the world.
He's there to show the world.
So come on.
Yeah,
so really, Dolph's character is just his theme song.
It is. I think.
I just realized that.
Finally has to live up to that theme song. So anyways, let's see. Moving on. So that happened. Let's just talk about the main event really quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
It was a match. Bray Wyatt looked like he rolled his ankle or something.
He did.
And so because of that, he ended up losing.
I don't think that's why.
It's because Dolph took off the
Bray,
turnbuckle.
Well, Bray started it.
But Dolph finished it.
I know.
He said, "Oh, good idea. We can do that. That's legal." Took it off. Towards the finish was he sort of threw him into it
and then super kicked him.
Let
me ask you a question. If you're a referee and you see someone take the padding off the turnbuckle, and they immediately hurl their opponent's head into the steel exposed underneath the padding of the turnbuckle.
Throw this up.
Do you disqualify that person then? Shouldn't that be a DQ?
I mean, you would think.
But
SmackDown drafted the crap refs.
Could be. Let me finish. If that turnbuckle pad was removed, and then some time went by, and then it just happened to get used during the course of the match, do you DQ that person?
I mean, look, if I'm a legit ref, I stop the match, I put the goddamn turnbuckle padding back on, and then I restart the match.
First, you stop the match, send the competitors to their respective corners.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to
do.
do.
Then do that, and then restart the match. Yes.
Right, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that, and then he just let the chips fall where they made. Don't even start that, little doggy. No. We are working. You're not allowed to bark right now.
So anyways, Dolph won. He's going to have his match at SummerSlam and not the main event, I'm guessing.
So you're not thinking that this is going to... What is Bray going to do then? We've already asked this question. What is he going to do?
Someone asked that in our question segment, so let's wait till then.
Okay.
It gives me time to think about it.
Okay, sounds
right
good.
now I have nothing.
Okay. Then we had, for the Intercontinental Championship, #1 contender, The Miz offered up a three-way dance.
No, he didn't offer it up. He was told that's going to happen.
This is going to happen. Kalisto, Baron Corbin, and Apollo Creed.
Cruz.
According to Daniel Bryan, his name is actually Apollo Creed. He was the guy who fought Rocky. He's the best boxer in all of fictional movie history.
Yeah.
I can't name a better one. There is that. Can you name another better one?
No.
No, there is no better one. Apollo Creed is the best. I mean, he gets a run for his money by, what was Mr. T's name?
Clubber Lang.
Like Clubber Lang, but nobody had the depth of character that Apollo Creed had.
No.
He was great. Died in the ring and everything.
Apollo
Creed. Traumatic.
Apollo Creed is pretty fantastic. 2
movie events traumatized the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I know that one when Apollo Creed died in the ring at the hands of
the other one too.
Ivan Drago, yes.
You know the other one. RoboCop's hand getting shot up.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even the rest of RoboCop literally getting shot up, blasted on. It was the hand.
Yeah, didn't he take a shotgun shell to the head?
He did. That didn't do anything.
Because
the thing is,
it was the Christ imagery of the hand getting blown off.
No, it's this, dude. It's like if you get shot in the head with a shotgun, your lights are out. You know what I mean? You don't really know that happened. You're not going to be like, ow, that hurt, and then you're down. You're just down instantly before you even know really what happened.
Okay.
You're down. Okay, if for nothing else, a concussion.
But if
you're sitting here watching your hand, and you're like, and that hand gets eviscerated in that movie.
Yeah, I know.
It turns to straight pulp and blood, and they do a lot of it.
I know.
Then you're like, oh my god, that's like really that's a part of me. That's a big chunk.
Especially
of me.
knowing what's going to come next.
Yeah.
Have you read or heard about the theories or the analysis of RoboCop that it's they present RoboCop as a messiah essentially, so it's a whole lot of Jesus.
Oh, is there? Yeah. Well, there you go.
Shot in the hand.
The nail in the thing. Yeah, that's not surprising. Verhoeven's a clever fella. Let's see here. This three-way dance between Kalisto, Corbin, and Cruz.
It was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a fun match. It ended with Cruz going over, so he's your new #1, very happy #1 contender.
And soon to be new Intercontinental Champion.
You think that's going to happen at SummerSlam? I don't know. Now things are so different with the brand split. I don't know. I could see The Miz holding on to it. I really could. I'll have to look at the rest of the card to see how things shake out, heel versus face, see where everything lands. This is one of those I think can go either way. Miz looks like $1 million these
I'm
days.
not quite gonna declare it as my lock.
Oh, that's a bad lock.
But that's pretty close.
That's a horrible lock.
Apollo Crews is gonna win the Intercontinental title.
Whose odds are better of winning their respective belts in their respective matches? Finn Balor or Apollo Crews?
Apollo Crews.
You're wrong. Let's see here. But then Baron Corbin laid out The Miz.
You're trying to find a silver lining in this story because he got a moderate pop after beating up The Miz a little bit. But then right afterwards, when he posed, he got booed.
My feelings are so complex on Baron Corbin. They really are. They range from ironically liking him to legitimately liking him to actually hating him to liking him
I kind of feel like it's 75% ironically liking him, 20% hating him, 5% kind of liking him.
That 5% isn't kind of liking him. It's that 5% I really want to legit like him.
But I don't think there's 0% of really liking him.
That's true.
I think you really want to like him.
You're right about that.
You want to, but you just don't.
Okay, let's see here. Becky, banner week for the women's division, by the way. Not. Who busts out not?
My
what
goodness.
What is that all about?
We're just on our phones.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. Not. Psych.
No, it has been a long day.
They said, hey, we're going to book a couple of amazing matches for the women's division. Psych.
No.
Anyways, Becky Lynch is out there. Eva Marie shows up.
With her great entrance.
With her amazing entrance. And she comes out looking like she's about to, like, they don't put a lot of clothes on her. Like, when she takes off the robe, they're like, I swear to God, you can start to see the beginning of her down there area. Like, you can start to see it start.
It's very close.
Like, we know for a fact that at most she has like a little trickle of pubis there, of pubic hair. Like, but I'm pretty sure it's all gone. Like, you can pretty much tell it's all gone because there's not a lot covering. And that, to be honestly, like, look, I'm a red meat guy. Mm-hmm. I like the women's, but in my wrestling, it just comes off as awkward when they show too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's cover up.
In one sense, it doesn't seem practical.
Yeah, that's mainly it.
It doesn't seem like practical attire to compete in.
Wrestling is an awkward nude thing. If I see two like girls wrestling, it just seems like it's probably awkward nude. It's like Becky Lynch comes out there, and Becky Lynch, maybe of anybody, at least in the women's division, maybe in the entire roster, looks like such a well-designed character. And even when she's wearing her merch shirt, she looks great, and she's fully covered up, and she looks like she is, to me, like she is the definition of an awesome women's wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eva Marie looks like she's, you can see this shit in Victoria's Secret catalog,
Yeah.
And I don't want to see fucking wrestling like that. That doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
That might be part of her character, though. That might be part of her presentation.
Yeah.
She gets in the ring, and I'm thinking to myself, fuck me, Becky Lynch is about to job.
Yeah.
That's where I seriously was thinking that. Well, before the match even starts, Eva Marie starts holding her thigh as if she busted something on the way in the ring.
Yeah, like she pulled her hamstring or her quad or something.
And I said this on Twitter, @RealGoingInRaw. I said, in her defense, that'd probably be me first time I step in the ring. I'd probably get in there, oh, fuck. I can't do this. Something hurts. I got to go. I got to go now. Ref, can you look at my leg, please? And then I'll do this.
He says, where does it hurt? And you're like, all there.
All here. So anyways, they escorted her out of there. Becky Lynch was left with absolutely nothing to do.
No match.
Great thing on Twitter, though, she then went to Twitter and said, I'm looking for a match. I didn't get my match tonight. And Bayley responded with saying hey, or hey, what's up, or like a hand raised emoji or something like that. And Becky Lynch said, how quickly can you get here?
That's cool.
I hope that's some foreshadowing, because I'd love for Bayley to go over to SmackDown and anchor that women's division along with Becky Lynch and Natalya.
It'd be fantastic.
Then we had the awesome debut of the SmackDown set, the news desk.
Oh yeah.
The SmackDown update news desk.
Yeah.
Breaking news desk, anchored by Renee Young. Okay.
Here, I will give the news desk credit for one thing. Mm-hmm. It provides an outlet for more Renee Young. She needs to be on that show more.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk about the news desk for a second, because they go so wide with it, so they can get the giant WWE Network logo in there, the Smack Talk, Smack Cap, whatever the fuck it's called up here. It just says SmackDown Live during the show. And then there's little Renee Young just sort of swimming in it in this massive blue vomit.
Yeah.
She's just sort of swimming there with this giant desk. And then they have like a guest come on, and this what we're talking about here is Carmella comes on, and she's like a mile away, and she's sort of swimming out there in the blue ocean as well. Yeah. It looks horrible. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Renee Young needs to be, and it boggles my fucking mind that they didn't do this. She needs to be the Byron Saxton of SmackDown. She needs to be the third person at the desk. As much as I've always liked David Otunga, he doesn't bring one thing to this broadcast. He doesn't, and I hate to say that because I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's very smart. He's a Harvard graduate,
and he was great.
He was really
his
good.
Previous work was really good.
Yeah, I really liked him before. Maybe it's just a matter of getting used to him. But when you have somebody who's so polished, so good, who could easily take on that same role that Byron Saxon has, why not use her at the desk? She brings so much to it.
I know.
To me, she's like the most qualified person next to Mauro Ranallo and JB. Like she should be there. She's in whatever capacity she should be there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's annoying. That's one way they could definitely improve SmackDown immediately.
Yeah.
Is to do that. But they're not going to do that. So the segment in question that we're talking about with the news desk is Renee Young interviewing Carmella.
Yeah.
And Carmella says some annoying shit. Natalia sort of floats into scene.
See, that's what the potential of the news desk is for comedic bits like that.
Because Natalia, like, just sort of, it's as if she was walking by and overheard Carmella talking.
Well, then she was standing at the desk.
Yeah.
Not that far from Carmella. It looked like the desk came up to right here.
It's so tall.
It's probably on a little stage.
Tall. It's so tall. It's hilarious. And then I think she ended up sitting next to her. I forget. But anyways,
no, I think she stood the whole time.
Okay. It looked like either way. It doesn't like it's weird. They're
stage
all swimming. They're all like.
The stage is huge, and I'm pretty sure it's elevated somewhat.
It's so weird. So, anyways, they go at it about whatever they're going at. I don't know. Carmella, look, I love Carmella. I want her with Enzo and Cass, though. It makes so much more sense.
Or just a fresh new character.
Yeah, I know, but she built her thing on that thing.
I know.
You know what I mean? And they're not going to change it now. But it's like she does I'm the princess of Staten Island. I'm the most fabulous somebody so-and-so out here. And it doesn't, to me, it feels so flat without Enzo and Cass there.
Yeah, yeah.
Just her cadence, like the way it comes out, all that stuff. It just feels so flat. And to be honest with you, it's kind of annoying. It's just kind of annoying. And so she comes out afterwards. I mean, I don't know if I'm skipping
later on.
ahead.
Yeah, you are.
Later on, we'll get to it now. She comes out later for a match apparently, and Natalia just blindsides her, interrupts her little spiel, and I was starting to root for Natalia because I'm like, thank you for stopping that. And I'm the princess of Staten Island. So annoying. I don't like any of it.
But as you said, within the dynamic of Enzo and Cass, it worked okay.
It worked great. It worked freaking great. Like, to me, when I first saw them come out, when I very first laid eyes on the trio, immediately I was like, this is so ECW. This is what ECW, This is like those kind of characters were very ECW back then, without all the chair shots.
I wonder if she used Enzo and Cass's music. That brings so much.
Oh, if she did, if that would help?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know if they even want her really associating with, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking not having. I get, she could just be switched out with like another women's division wrestler. Woman, I guess, whatever, wrestler from Raw. Like they can, I'm sure there's plenty on Raw. They can just do a trade.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's see here. The Vaudevillains made their, the American Alpha.
The American Alpha.
The American Alpha team made their debut against the Vaudevillians. And beat them.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Didn't really insert them in any stories or
no, they just had a match.
Do anything of.
Probably once they get tag belts for SmackDown, then they'll have a story. Because those belts are going on them real fast.
Yeah, they are. Who's got? Oh, they don't have. Yeah, they're going to be the inaugural SmackDown Tag Champs. You're right. AJ versus Cena. AJ comes out and delivers. He says all week he's been talking about he has a message for John Cena.
Yeah, and as soon as he starts talking, basically, Cena comes out.
John Cena.
And they have a pretty long 15-minute talking segment. That was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Cena did his whole it was planned. Cena did his old shtick of, kids love me and parents pull me aside and say they love me and I do this because I love and passion and love and all you and passion and love and this stuff.
And then he just said to Styles, you're here just because you want to be a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah, I didn't really get him trying to run down AJ. That stuff didn't
and then he was like, if stuff doesn't work out here,
you
can just go somewhere else to wrestle.
But I only do here.
I only do here.
Was that like a shoot?
I don't know.
Was that like a shoot?
I don't know if it was supposed to be a burn or not. I don't get it.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I mean, I guess he was saying that AJ was hireable. That's good.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it.
But AJ was on fire.
AJ was great, and the bottom line is they set up a SummerSlam match.
Yes.
He said, enough of this, no more club, one-on-one SummerSlam. Now, AJ won he won at Battleground, right? Or Cena won. Who won a Battleground?
Yeah, Battleground was a tag match.
No, okay. Well, who won their first
Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank?
Styles won with club interference.
Okay, so I guess Cena's going to win this one.
No, AJ should go over.
He should go over. He's already lost on another Big Four pay-per-view to Jericho. He should go over here. He should be with the club on Raw.
Yeah. Next, Fandango versus Randy Orton.
This bugged me.
I know it did.
This bugged me. I think, look, Lesnar came out on Raw. Lesnar came out on Raw with Heyman. Heyman did this eviscerating promo. It was great. Orton came in, gave him an RKO.
Yeah, it was good.
It was really good. Fandango calls out Orton at some point because Orton ran him down.
On the highlight reel.
Okay. And now they're in a match, which I don't like that. I get the idea of here's how it would have made sense. On the highlight reel, Orton did what he did to The Miz. Set up.
No, not to The Miz. Jericho.
No, I'm sorry. He won on Miz TV.
Yeah.
First episode of Smackdown Live. He did what he did to The Miz.
Yeah.
And that should have set up, instead of being a match right there, he should have just did what he did in the context of the Miz TV. That should have set up that match. My problem with Fandango doing this stuff with Orton is that it seems like, why is Orton even dealing with Fandango? He's too low down. He's too small. He's too far down on the card. This should have been something for the Miz to do. Lesnar comes in, delivers his F5, and then maybe Miz capitalizes on that.
But here's the thing. Fandango challenged Orton.
Okay, no, okay. Go back in time, and whatever writer came up with this whole thing, get rid of that. Just don't write that into it.
Well, I mean, time travel is not at our disposal right here. Unless you want to rebook the whole show.
Well, we did that last week.
Yeah.
So that's what I just did just then. I did an impromptu rebook.
Oh, okay.
That would have made this more effective.
You know,
to me.
apparently I'm a huge Fandango mark.
Yeah.
Anyway, so maybe I'm just cool with it because it means more. It means a match for Fandango. Gives him an opportunity to get on TV, get some TV time, put on a match.
I'm rebooking the show right now.
No, you're texting somebody.
I know. Today's such a fucking day.
So we can move on. I understand you were displeased with Fandango's appearance.
I just felt that this,
in the context of the
this
Orton
retaliation,
feud.
I think this retaliation could have been bigger. It could have. I think Fandango to me was just a distraction. I'm like, why is Orton dicking with this guy?
Because he challenged him.
Well, okay. So does that mean anybody who challenges him is going to get into a match with Orton?
Maybe.
Anyways. Let's see here. Daniel Bryan and Heath Slater. Heath Slater's back at it again. He's doing this shit where he wants a contract. He wants to work. He's like, I need food. I need clothes.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan says, fine. You know, you win your match. You're going to have a match next week. If you win that match, you get a contract. And he says, who's it against? And then Rhino comes out of nowhere with his little tiny arms. And he spears him.
Gores him.
Gore.
And then, it was a nice little comedy bit where Rhino pops up.
Yeah.
In the frame with a big smile on his face.
Yeah, big goofy grin on his face.
And then Daniel Bryan says, we're going to need a medic in my office. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Let's see here.
Another Renee Young segment, this time with Dean Ambrose.
Renee Young was floating in the SmackDown Live news desk's ocean.
So was Dean for a bit until he stood up.
You think they were wearing pants? Because they're dating, aren't they?
Dean was wearing pants because he stood up.
Okay, you verified that. Confirmed here they were wearing
Well, she
pants.
stood up too, but she, I don't think she's that tall. So
Can't really tell. Can't really see. Probably not, though.
There's a couple of funny moments, though, with Dean.
I like this because he was kind of making fun of the set a little bit.
And he says, these headset things are bugging me, and just threw it and
Put
walked
Booker
off.
T on that set with her. Even that would make it seem like it's populated. Otherwise, it feels like for the rest of the entire show, she's just sitting there doing nothing. I want them to cut to her every once in a while and just show her doing nothing. Let's see here. Carmella versus... We talked about that. I'm just going by the show notes.
I know.
We talked about that. That's the entire SmackDown. We just ran down all of SmackDown. Look at that.
Still too many crane shots.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
Still too many.
Yeah.
You want to answer some questions?
Yeah, answer some questions.
The Boss. Who would be your version of the SmackDown 6? I had to look up the SmackDown 6. I forgot what it was. But apparently in the Halcyon days of SmackDown, 2002, it was Lesnar, Angle, Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, and two others, who most of the major storylines were booked around.
Chavo, really?
That's what the article I read said.
Interesting.
The Boss wants his SmackDown 6 to be Balor, Sami Zayn, Owens, Rollins, Dolph, and Ambrose. Problem is only 2 of those people are actually on SmackDown.
Yeah, you need to do this with SmackDown people.
Yeah, so it would be Ambrose, AJ.
Yeah, just look at the top of the card.
Orton, Cena, Bray, and I guess Dolph. That's 6.
That's 6 right there. Yeah.
Stroke of luck.
But take Dolph out and add Corbin.
No. Stroke of luck. When Shelton Benjamin returns, how long is it going to take him, if ever, to hold gold again? Hopefully soon, but I don't know what title it would be.
I don't know how they're going to use Shelton Benjamin.
I know.
Kind of worrisome. I keep on hearing they're going to bring guys in to put younger guys over.
I know. And Shelton is a case of a guy who, he was an IC champ multiple times, tag champ, but it felt like he left before he could really fulfill his potential to his fullest to become world champion. And I would like to see that because he's really good.
I'm really interested in seeing what his mic work is like because that's what everybody ran him down for. I'm really interested to see if he can really light it up on the mic,
Yeah.
Because he's had a lot of time to do to practice.
Well, he's been gone
6 years.
Oh, okay. That was longer than that. Brenna Elmore. Book the next Intercontinental Champion run that doesn't have anything to do with The Miz. Love, your only female fan.
We have many female fans, but she's a heavy Twitterer at Real Going in Raw during my live stream session.
All right, so after Apollo Crews wins the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam, I'm sure he'll have a rematch with The Miz at the next pay-per-view, but after that, done with The Miz.
Okay, done with The Miz. Apollo Crews has the belt.
Yeah.
The obvious one at this point is Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Because besides their feud here on Going in Raw, they haven't actually engaged in an actual feud, and they keep on crossing paths.
Yeah, they've been teasing some future feud.
And I think that's a good feud. I mean, stylistically, it don't match up because Baron Corbin doesn't match up with anybody but like a broomstick. But it'll be interesting to see how their styles match up if they can put on a decent match.
Well,
or
remember they had that
program.
match at one of the takeovers
that's
at NXT.
Right. Yeah.
And it was okay.
Yeah.
That was the one where Baron Corbin engaged in a lot of really poor trash talk.
Right.
Robert Hay.
Hey.
After losing to Ziggler on
Listen to this. Bob Hay.
That's good. After losing to Ziggler on SmackDown.
That's good.
Not mention how you said it was good. Do you think Bray Wyatt will be involved in SummerSlam, and if so, how?
What? Bray was so... Yeah, so this is the question, Larson. Bray Wyatt. What do they do with Bray Wyatt? How do you not put him in a triple threat match?
Here's what I could see happening.
For the belt at
potentially.
SummerSlam.
Assuming
Bray Wyatt, man.
That match, the title match, the SmackDown title match, isn't the main event of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
He could interfere to cost Dolph the match.
I think no matter what, we're getting Dean versus Bray after SummerSlam. And I would love to see. You know what would elevate that belt in my eyes is Bray Wyatt holding that title. I got the belt, man.
For a long time.
Talking years.
Yost Dahan.
Yost.
I don't know if you checked this out on Twitter. He doodled a WWE Universal Championship.
I doodled.
What do you think of the design? I didn't include a picture
Well,
here.
he says, what do you think the design will be?
Oh, sorry. What do you think the design will be?
Well, there's that little image going around Twitter that looks like the winged belt of the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart
the 90s era.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that design, but I would like to see something new. Maybe instead of wings, they have a swirling galaxy.
Man, you know what I want? I want something. I don't care what it looks like. I want it as big or bigger than the Lucha Underground one. I think it's massive.
Yeah, it should be
huge. It's huge. I want it so that the cruiserweights can't even pick it up.
So you want it to be made of lead, essentially.
No, I want it to just be big. I want it to be like the size of a cruiserweight's torso. I want it to look like three Zack Sabres. You can get 3 Zack Sabres and fit it around him.
Okay.
I want it only so that it'd be snug on Chris Hero.
Okay. Ronan Leonard. Are there any mid-card superstars on SmackDown you could see getting pushed to the main event level?
Yes, Dolph Ziggler. It's already happened.
Yeah.
Look, man, I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, they're going to have to push some mid-card talent to the main event level so they can avoid having the same 5 matches headline every pay-per-view.
Exactly, yeah.
So, building actual quality main event talent from the mid-card and SmackDown is another question entirely.
I think this is a huge opportunity for a guy like Kalisto. I think it's a huge opportunity for him to really be the next Rey Mysterio. Mm-hmm. Let's see if he can do it.
Carter. If CM Punk didn't sign with UFC and came back to WWE, what brand would he fit in and why?
I'd only want him on Raw because that's the premier brand.
I want him on SmackDown.
Really?
Because SmackDown needs the help.
No, man. He's a raw guy.
Mr. Dylan for the win.
Hey, Dylan.
Do you think Seth Rollins has a chance of joining the club since his logo has a crosshair on
Can we
it?
do the club where they do the thing like this?
No.
It's on top of each other.
No.
You can't do it? You can
Not
be on top,
gonna do
too.
it.
You can be on top. If it's a sexual thing, you can be on
Not.
top.
I'm just. I don't.
You don't
I
be
don't.
on top?
I don't too sweet.
No?
Any variation. I
You
don't
want
too
to be
sweet.
behind it? Can
No.
you do back of hand?
No too sweeting.
No, backhand? No
Not
backhand
gonna-
too sweet?
I'm not going to too
No
sweet.
backhand too sweet.
Answer the question.
What is the question?
Chances of Seth Rollins joining the club since his logo has a crosshair in it.
The chance of him joining are 0. The chances of him aligning with the club are 50%, maybe even 80%.
James Rodriguez. If Dean wins, which is more likely? Ziggler turns heel or Bray attacks after the match?
Bray attacks after the match is almost guaranteed to happen because
Yeah.
there's no obvious opponent for him for SummerSlam.
No. And it could build it to, I guess, a match at Survivor Series. If they're going to stretch it out that long.
Something like that, yeah.
It'd be 3 months.
They don't have the talent not to stretch it out.
I know. Tyrell. What is your dream match on each brand with their current rosters?
With their current, okay, look, my dream match right now is happening at SummerSlam for the Universal title. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, I think, is money all over it. Dream match on SmackDown for me would be AJ versus
Shelton Benjamin.
There you go. I'm not gonna disagree with that one.
Josh Phillips. Do you guys think they should just make a belt that has to be defended anytime? It seems that many wrestlers could get in the eyes of the fans with all the backstage drama and shoots from outside and local areas. And how would you book it?
Given the success of the DDT Pro,
Yeah, that thing's great.
that thing, what is it, the heavy metal weight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Given how they do that, I wouldn't actually mind if they did some sort of like social media based thing where they just let the wrestlers figure it out. Just say, hey, look, stay in character. Don't be breaking kayfabe too much.
Yeah.
But have fun with it.
Yeah.
And that could get some of the
I don't
lower
remember
guys.
if we brought this up or someone during a question brought up that anytime the belt is defended, anytime there is an alert on the network and it cuts to it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
That'd be fantastic. Absolutely.
Alex Martosi. What do you think of Eva Marie being the 2013 Diva Search winner? What an accomplishment. She was the best in that.
Well,
She was the best in
I
that.
think good for her. She's obviously made the most of that opportunity because she's on SmackDown.
Yes.
So good for her.
Carlos Hackworth. If Apollo wins the IC belt, do you think he will restore the glory to the belt? I think by and large, the glory of the belt is determined just as much by how it's booked and the storylines it's involved in.
A great example of how somebody can restore glory to a belt is Rusev and what he's done with the U.S. title. For the past, 2 years or so?
Yeah.
Ever since he's debuted, basically, his life has centered around the U.S. title. Even when he hasn't had it, he's been chasing it.
Yeah.
He's always been waylaid from having it, and then he has it again now, and he takes it very seriously.
Yeah.
And that's been like I said, I think around a 2 year, it feels like a 2 year process.
Yeah.
And that's a long time.
Yes.
That takes a long time to establish that. You look at who had it before that prominently, it was Dean Ambrose when he was with the Shield. And when he had it, there was jokes about how seldom he defended it. It was just something for the Shield to have to make him look good because the other two had the tag titles.
Yeah.
Now, if you do that same thing that they're doing with Rusev with Apollo Crews and give him the depth of character that they have with Rusev, and granted, you can say, oh, he's your standard Drago from Rocky IV. He's not. He's shown a lot more depth than that.
Oh, yeah.
And the ability to adapt to storylines, even that horrible shit they gave him with Dolph and Lana. If Apollo Crews is able to bring that over the next 2 years, then yes.
Yeah.
Do I see it in him now? Not yet.
Okay. The kid from Indio. He's going to Raw this week, and one of the suggestions for a sign, he was thinking of a bulletproof Balor Club sign. I think there's one obvious suggestion for a sign.
Going in Raw sign. It's the only sign I want to see. Thank you. Have a good time.
Have a great time.
Yeah.
Adam Fella.
Hey, fella.
What if Rollins versus Balor turned more into the Authority versus the Club in a heel v heel fashion? I don't want the Authority back.
I don't want the Authority back, so no.
No. William Bob is no one...
But hold on. We discussed this briefly in yesterday's episode, how it would be kind of interesting, kind of what he's saying here, not a heel v heel thing, but Rollins turns face, Balor turns heel, joins the club, the double switch, and then they start terrorizing Seth Rollins. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. William Bob. Is no one going to mention that the floor ref brought Charlotte the women's title after the mixed tag match? I noticed that.
Evidently, yeah. Evidently, the Raw wasn't immune to the crappy ref draft.
Yeah. Bland Yoshi. Do you think Dolph wins the title to elevate him? It would help the SmackDown depth issue. Make SmackDown great again.
No.
I don't think he wins, but I can see his point about
I think the belt would even make SmackDown worse. I think it would make SmackDown look even more janky than
like
it
the
already
B
does.
show.
Yeah, it has to be on a strong guy.
Philip Wilson. Dolph seems fed up of being a joke. Could we see him turn heel for the belt until he loses it to Bray at Survivor Series?
No, he's
I
not going to win the belt at SummerSlam.
No, but I don't.
If you want a lock, that's your lock.
It's pretty close.
It's not Apollo Crews. It's freaking Dolph Ziggler winning that belt. It's not going to happen. No way. Not going to happen.
Oh, and he doesn't need to turn heel. I think how they're just kind of turning up.
I'm fine with where they're booking.
Yeah,
him.
the way they're turning up the intensity
I
for
like
both the guys
Dolph.
is
They're
good.
not going to have him win the belt, though.
No, Brie. Since, in Brie's opinion, Ambrose and Ziggler both make great heels, who would you rather turn heel before SummerSlam if one of them did?
Ziggler, because I liked him better as a heel.
Yeah, and there's no way Dean's turning heel.
Not a chance of that happening.
Jake Cole, what do you think of the lack of women's matches in SmackDown this week? Yep.
Big old psych on
I mean,
that
why don't
one.
they have Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss? Two
Where
good
was
wrestlers.
Alexa Bliss this week?
Two really good wrestlers.
Where was Alexa Bliss this week?
Ben, has the lack of a women's in tag titles soured your enjoyment of those types of matches on SmackDown?
Knowing that Daniel Bryan has confirmed that they're in the works to bring those titles to introduce titles of exclusive to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Then no, I'm good with it.
Namikaze Minato. What would you guys name the new women's title if SmackDown introduced a new one? What would we name it?
You know what, dude? I'm still stuck on the idea, and I know it's not going to happen. I'm still stuck on the idea of the Intercontinental Championship being the women's title. I would love that, and I like whoever's idea it was. I forget what it was, but something about Maurice
Having to defend it instead of The Miz, yeah.
Tell me that wouldn't be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
James Ellsworth.
The real it doesn't say real James Ellsworth, so I don't think it is.
Who would you put as the contenders for SmackDown's women's divisions belt, hopefully, and how would they be decided? I'm assuming there'll be probably a 4-woman tournament.
Yeah.
This will be Becky Lynch,
And Bayley.
Bayley,
Natalia,
and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, there you go.
They can put on good matches.
Becky Lynch has to go over first, man. She needs a fucking belt.
You think so? Over Bayley?
Yeah, she needs a belt.
Okay.
She needs a belt.
I guess that largely depends when Bayley gets brought up. Luis Posos. How would you put Carmella over in the SmackDown women's wrestling division?
You know, it'd be cool. AJ starts up a new club. Becky Lynch joins, and she holds the belt as a heel. That'd be rad.
That would be cool.
That'd be rad.
How do you put Carmella over?
Divorce her of the Enzo and Cass thing. Teach her how to wrestle.
Yeah. Jay Sherman.
I've sort of just destroyed Carmella's entire thing there, though.
She has charisma. She's got a lot of personality.
No, I like Carmella. I like her a lot. It's just her shit's awkward when she busts it out.
Jay Sherman, what would you think of true intergender matches in WWE a la Lucha Underground instead of mixed gender?
You know what? I would actually be fine with it on Raw in the Cruiserweight division, since those wrestlers, generally speaking, I know we've seen power wrestlers in the Cruiserweight Classic, since generally speaking, it's more based on athletic ability, high-flying stuff like that. I wouldn't mind seeing in the Cruiserweight Classic, or special situations like, for example, Nia Jax shows up in the Royal Rumble and eliminates a couple of smaller
that'd be
guys.
Great.
And then, but in terms of like just straight up, Becky Lynch challenging Dean Ambrose for the heavyweight title, as cool as it might sound, probably look kind of weird. Kind of be too many weird undertones there.
Steve Papa. Do you think Sister...
I love it when you call Steve Papa.
Do you think Sister Abigail will ever debut as a female wrestler and join the Wyatt family? That's been rumored for a long time.
I would love that. Are you kidding me? And I hope Bray Wyatt goes against his he didn't want Bo to join the family.
Yeah, you want a sister.
But he has a sister.
Yeah.
They're waiting for him. I hope that she does.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
She looks like a rotunda.
Well, she is a rotunda.
I know.
Jordan Wright.
They all have that rotunda look.
Because it won't and shouldn't be Orton, who should finally beat Brock? Jordan thinks it should be part of a Cesaro push.
It won't be Orton, Oh, it will be. It will be Orton, my friend. Did you see in the Nowcast? He's at 55% now. Polls plus.
Oh, really?
Polls plus 51%.
I missed that.
What's the other one? Polls plus, Nowcast, and polls only.
Polls only.
He's at 76.
I'm not sure about your statistical model there, Steve.
It's based on nothing.
We've had this discussion several times the last couple of weeks. I would like to see someone like Owens or Wyatt be the one to beat Lesnar. Because, imagine how much did Owens
Let me ask you something.
covet the Intercontinental
Let me ask
title?
you something. What do Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and the phrase Big Cesaro Push all have in common?
Wait, what was the last statement?
What do the Loch Ness
heard
Monster,
that one.
Bigfoot, and the phrase Big Cesaro Push all have in common?
Oh, none of them exist.
They're all mythical animals. None of them will ever be found.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's a fact. That's a fact. Cesaro needs to head to New Japan right now, like yesterday. Join the Bullet Club. Have him join the Bullet Club. Not that toothpick Adam Cole. Give me a break.
Phillies Man 05.
Phillies man.
Who would you want outside of WWE to join Styles? Phillies Man would like Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian because of their history.
I would love that. I would actually.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Absolutely love that because we've seen. I know we've seen. I'm pretty sure we saw Daniels, but I know for a fact we saw the future Frankie Kazarian in person. I think we were like front row at this little podunk.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Thing. I think he yelled at us or something.
Jefferson. Pair 6 superstars up as 3 romantic couples a la Sasha and Enzo.
Easy. Braun Strowman and Nia Jax.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Those two. I'm gonna say this: Roman Reigns and Bob Backlund. I think that'd be a hilarious romantic couple.
Okay. One more.
And Alexa Bliss. No, the one I've always wanted to see is Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura because I want to see their strong style kids. Be the fucking dopest kids you'd ever see in your life.
Oh, here's a good question.
They'd be the most well-designed kids you'd ever see in your life.
Frosty Gambino. For fun, can you book a Hurricane Helms return?
Oh, yeah, man. Just put him on Smackdown and let him do his shit.
Thomas B. Austin.
You guys should check out the Jericho podcast with Shane Helms. It's great. Gregory Helms, whatever his name is.
Thomas B. Austin. This is a great question, but I think this is something we have to push
It
to
was
later.
me, Austin. It
Challenge.
was me all along.
With your respective rosters from your mock draft, make a SummerSlam card and see who has the better group.
Oh, shit.
That's something that's going to take some research.
Okay, we'll put a little footnote next to this.
Yeah, maybe we'll
We
address
should revisit our draft.
I know.
At some point.
I thought about coming up with a point system.
Who was in my draft? Oh, I had Roman Reigns.
You picked Roman Reigns first.
Bleh. Is AJ Styles in my draft? Did I get AJ? I got the club. I got the entire club.
Yeah, you got the entire
I kept
club.
the club together.
But I have Shinsuke and Rollins and Owens and Zayn.
Who has Finn Balor?
You do.
Nice. I've got the entire Bullet Club. I'm still happy with that one. I think I won the draft.
No, you did. George Richards.
Who has Dean Ambrose?
You do.
Oh, bummer. You want to trade Seth Rollins for Dean Ambrose?
No.
Good on your part.
George Richards, if you could choose 5 different parts of memorable sets and put them together as one set, what would you choose and why? Here's the centerpiece of any set. The fist.
The fist.
It's got to be the Smackdown fist.
The
it's
fist.
The centerpiece.
Yeah, the fist. The Raw announce table up at the ramp.
Yeah.
The busted up car that Brock Lesnar broke up. That one, that's going to be up there because that's a set piece.
I like all the presents on the set during Christmas time.
The Christmas one, yeah, that's good too.
Good.
And then the graveyard from Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, that's good. All that. Last question.
Yeah, well, I think we have Bash at the Beach Sand. Can we do that too?
Yeah, Jarrett Weld. All this split brand craziness gives me a Road to Mania feeling. What do you think the card will look like at WrestleMania?
And a big in your house sign.
Oh, of course, yeah.
We need that too. I love that question. That's my favorite question. All this brand split is giving Road to Mania.
What do you think WrestleMania 30, what is it?
33?
33 cards.
What's 33 going to look like? Well, let's think about this. AJ versus. I'm gonna say AJ versus Dean for the belt.
Okay.
I'm gonna say AJ versus Dean. That's a good heel versus face thing going on there.
Okay.
And maybe AJ's pulling out all the stops and hiring new Bullet Club members.
I'm gonna say Finn Balor as your Universal Champion.
Ooh, yeah, lovely.
Against.
You don't know who you want to say. You want to say Kevin Owens. That's perfect. That's
Kevin Owens.
Biggest face versus biggest heel. Are you kidding me?
That's good.
That's good. That's a good matchup right there. Sami Zayn versus another good heel, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
We saw that on Raw this past week.
Who was Brock Lesnar going to wrestle? He's an attraction.
Roman Reigns. He's out of the doghouse by Mania.
Okay, and Roman finally picks up the W?
Yes.
He gets the win finally?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. All right, there's your card.
There's your card. No Barry Windham or no this week. We're going to push the debut of Barry Windham or no to next week.
Yeah, it's too busy.
Yeah, we're too busy. So, just too much going on.
Well, that's the show. That's it. We're done.
Is that it?
We're
We
done.
want to say thanks, everybody? We want to say thank you to anybody?
Thank you, everybody.
Hit the download button. Hit the subscribe button. You have no idea how amazing that makes me feel when I get on these charts here on the iTunes.
When you obsessively check your
it's
iTunes
obsessive
charts.
because it updates by the minute.
I know.
So I obsessively check
So
it.
you have to check it every minute.
As of an hour ago, we were one up on Colt Cabana, who's got like the best wrestling podcast in the business right now. You should check out. I'm going to check out this tonight. Chris Jericho and Broken Matt Hardy.
Oh yeah,
that's up today. Good stuff. Anyways, let's go out on a too sweet backhand. Too sweet? No, nothing.
No.
Too sweet, me Sting. Thanks. All right. Anyways, that's it for now. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.